Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast. My name is Curtis and I am your host. And today we have no stranger to Studio 23. We have the fantastic Gemma from Paton Media. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good having you in.
It's so weird being the other side of the table. Like, I'm getting interviewed up here. I don't know what I'm doing.
For those that don't know, and we'll find out about this, Gemma actually has her own podcast that she records right here at Studio 23. Fantastic podcast that you should all listen to. I believe available on Spotify, other streaming platforms. Yep. So we'll find out a wee bit more about that later on. So this is a podcast all about finding out about Renfrewshire's businesses and local businesses and the surrounding areas. So let's dig in. Who are you? Let's dig in. Get the spades out.
Let's go. Right. So I'm Gemma. So I have two businesses actually.
Oh, perfect.
So Paton Media, Curtis, as you just said, is basically my social media business, which is like my bread and butter. That's my real job is my social media.
I love that.
My real job. And then I've also got my side hustle. But it's funny, so my side hustle actually came first before my social media business.
All right.
When I was still employed. So that is Bra by Gem. So follow me on Instagram. And that is mobile spray tans for Paisley, Barhead and Nielsen. Don't cover them shows, unfortunately, but Paisley, Barhead, Nielsen, that is spray tans.
You never know. You might, you know what I mean, might expand out in the future. You never know.
I mean, at the minute, I'm like pure exhausted. So I'm pure, oh my God, I can't do any more than I want to do and like help my bob. It's fine. But yeah, so I do social media marketing for small businesses. That's who I target because like the little guys need help.
They do. They certainly do.
They do. Like the big guys have got all the cash and they can just chuck it at ads. See, the wee guys are like, what am I doing? Don't have the time, don't have the knowledge, like don't have the resources. So I swoop in and go, let me help you out, hun.
You're like, I'm here to save the day.
And I love services. Like I have a couple of my clients like product based, but services is just my jam. Like I'm just all about the services. Like I've got randoms, I've got like financial planner, I've got like physio, I've got a podiatrist. Like it's just so random, but all these businesses need social media to promote themselves. So it's
a social media game these days. This is how things go about. That's how you get known. That's how your businesses grow. No, that's absolutely fantastic. And sorry, I forgot to mention your other businesses.
No, don't.
I just know you so well for your Paton Media, especially with the podcasting and hearing everything that goes about, because you're a fantastic host, might I say.
I don't think I am, though.
Oh, no, you are. You're a natural.
Am I?
Absolute natural.
Do you know, if people say that to they listen to it, oh, you're so good at talking. I'm like, am I? Then after I'm finished, I'm like, did that even sound good? Like, was I just talking shit? Like, who knows? But
no, you sounded absolutely great. So how did Paton Media come about? You've obviously said about your bra business in a minute. Is it brow or bra? Sorry,
bra. So bra. Like, yeah, a bra gal.
A bra gal. So how did Paton Media come about? How did that start? Was it something that you know what I mean, while you were doing your first business, you thought, hey, nobody's helped me out with the social media, I want to get involved in this? Was it from a previous job, or did you study anything about it? How did it come about?
So it's pure long-winded, but we're here for
take your time. We're here. That's it.
I actually studied marketing at uni. Well, it was fashion marketing, which is absolutely hilarious because all the gals that hopefully are listening to this, none of us do fashion except one. One girl moved to Australia and is living her best life, and I'm pure.
You tend to find that everybody that goes to uni ends up not doing the thing they studied.
So it was fashion marketing, and then left uni, gap year, usual. Had lived my best life, came back. And I had 2 jobs, and in my third job I was actually poached to that company from my previous one. Biggest mistake of my life. It was an absolute shit show. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Like, it was a joke. If anybody wants to know a company, I was going on my LinkedIn. And through lockdown, they sacked all the staff, and I was the only one running the marketing team by myself. Like, I'm not a graphic designer. I can't do CAD. Like, I'm not a marketing manager. They get rid of everyone, and I was like, cool, riding solo. And then they get rid of me because they were like, we don't need marketing. And I was pure,
all right,
okay,
so, business will grow.
Good for you. Yep, good for you. So I was like, cool. So then I was looking for another job, and that's what I'd done. So I did marketing. So I was a marketing executive, which is like an all-rounder, so that you deal with all sorts of marketing, every single element. And social media is a very small part of that. Mm-hmm. But I liked that the most. So when I was looking for another job, I was going through interviews, and I was like, am I just going to go in the same situation again where I'm just depressed? Like, because in marketing, depending on your job and depending on company you're in, you can be like put in a box and you're not allowed to be creative. And like, if anybody listens to my podcast, Katie, who was on my last one I've done, she mentioned that like you can't be creative. You're like, you need to do what they want.
You're so regimented in the routine.
Regimented. And then there's like, in normal circumstances, glass ceilings, and you're pushed through them and you get to go further. But in most places, that it's just a brick ceiling and you can't go any further. And you're
there's
like,
no growth there. There's nowhere to push to. There's nowhere to express yourself.
Yeah.
And I think somebody that is, because I can tell obviously you're creative and everything that you do is creative, that must be so frustrating.
No, it's so frustrating. So when I was in there as well, I got sacked, but I was just depressed and I was like, wait until 5:30, like, I want to go home, like this is rubbish. So then I was like, am I going to be in the same situation? Who knows? And my boyfriend James, full credit to him, like I'll say that, he I don't like to tell him things unless I'm 100% sure, because James is the type of person that will just run with the idea. He's like, right, let's do it. So I was like, can't say this, I'm thinking
Reminds
about
me
this.
of someone.
I was like, I can't tell him until I'm 100% sure, because it'll be like, right, that's the path. But we were out our lockdown walk, you know, everybody went on our lockdown walks.
Your half an hour or whatever it may be.
Allocation. So we're walking about and I was like, listen, I'm thinking about maybe going self-employed, doing social media. Right, let's go, you can do it. And I was like, I can. And then I just...
Your biggest supporter, I like that.
He is, he really is. And so I was like, right, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to give it a bash. If it doesn't work out, because I think what we learned from lockdown and COVID was, you know, you could be dead tomorrow. So
100%. You can't keep doing the same things that aren't making you happy.
You're not happy.
100%.
You live one time. Like, I'm pure advocate for this is it. This is your chance.
I 100% agree. I think I had so many ideas. I'm quite a creative person, and like that with the idea of lockdown. And it's funny because we were talking about lockdown in the last podcast, or the last guy we had in. But the idea of going back to normal just didn't seem right. And I think when you're having that sort of time, you just kind of take a step back and you can look and go, is this really what I want to do? Mm-hmm. And I think now, I'm always a big believer that age is just a number, 100%. But I'm like, you get so many little chances to do things that you want to do in the time that you want to do it in. And I think if you don't grab it, then that's when you end up, you look back, you regret it.
You regret it.
And maybe the thing that you had when you were, I don't know, 20, we're in a I'm late 20s, early 30s, you go, and then you get to your 50s, 60s and you go, I've missed that chance. Yeah. That time's passed because it's something different's taken over then. Do you know what I mean? This is your chance to grab what you want in this time. But hey, I think you're fantastic at what you do. Nice. I've checked over all your socials and things because I like to obviously do a bit of research, and I think that what's nice about you is you really care about your clients and things. But we'll discuss that later. So, Paton Media, now your full-time job.
So now my full-time job. So I went full pelt 2 years ago, and it just grew, and I was really grateful. And I think, like you just touched on there, like I do really care, and I'm there for my clients, like whenever they need me. Like if they phone me and be like, because I do their social media. Some of them I'll do extra marketing things for them, but I do so because I'm a marketing executive, but social media is what I'm focused on. So they'll phone me and be like, what do I do with this, or what can you advise me on this? And I'm pure 100%, like I'm here for you, like we're part of our team now, and I'm there for you whenever you need me. I don't like to just be post and ghost and see you later. Like I don't work like that, and that's just how I wanted my business to be, basically. No,
100%. And I think with social media, it's all about the content.
Yeah.
So content creation, what does it involve? So how would you come up with an idea for a business? Now, I understand everyone will be different. They'll all have different things that maybe they're wanting to reach out to members of the public, other businesses for. So how would you you might even have an example, and you might have something that you go, this is how I came up with their bits and bobs. So how would it look for you?
Everybody is different. That's the sort of key point when it comes to creating content. So like and I was thinking of this today because I knew I was coming here. Every single one of my clients wants different things and has different things in mind. So like when I approach them, we sit down like, right, we need to sort of build a strategy around what you're wanting to achieve from your social media, whether you're wanting to just do like brand awareness, whether you're wanting to actually get new clients to the door, whether you're wanting to sell a particular product, a particular package, whatever that is. And then we go, right, let's build content around that. So for example, I was just telling Bex, who's doing our sound, about this girl that who actually is coming in my 2 podcasts from now. I've not booked in yet, but I'm going.
There's always a free space for you, don't worry.
April of Regain Studio in Paisley. So she reached out to me recently and was like, I want to do, I need a bit of help with my social media. And I was like, right. And my new thing, so when I set up, I did sort of social media management, but there's only so many people I can take on with that sort of job, because then I'm at capacity and I'm like, I can't help anybody
That's
else.
it, you're
like,
just one person.
I'm one person. So I've started to pivot into content days, which I'm calling them. So basically I'll come to the client, we'll sit down in advance, we'll discuss what they want to achieve from the content day, what kind of content they need for their business, come in, we'll bang it all out, I'll always edit it, provide it to that client, and then they can use it as they please, and that's sort of how it works. So with her, we sat down and I was like, right, what is it that you want to promote here? And it was so interesting to like talk to her, and I always like to get inside the client's head, because especially with services, you have to speak their language. I can't take on a service and start speaking like slang or like,
you can't speak like Gemma. You've got to be whatever that client and their branding and their
portray themselves, the way they portray their brand, their premise, the whole mantra of their business. So getting inside that, and she was so inspirational. And then she got me to sign up without asking me to. I just was like, I need to sign up with you. You're amazing. But she really wanted to push our group training and our online training. So I was like, right, cool. What we'll do is, one of the days you've got your group training, we'll come in, we'll get hundreds of stuff around that, we'll get testimonials with the girls, we'll get loads of bits and pieces with this, we'll do this and this, and that's how we worked it, and that's how we created the content around the sort of what she wanted to achieve, basically, because creating content is not just shooting in the dark, there has to be reason behind it.
And it's not just putting a picture up on Facebook or something like that.
And like loads of people who don't get it will just be like, oh, you're just doing an Instagram post, and I'm like, well, no,
so much more
behind it, and like you're trying to add value to the service or product. I prefer services, my baby. You're trying to provide value to that service. Why would somebody buy that from you? They could buy it from, you could go to JD gyms.
Oh, 100%.
Why would they come to you? What's your USP? Why you? And it's just about getting that across. And like, she's the type of person that people would want to come to her for who she is, and like her, like everything about her. Oh, she's brilliant. Shout out to April. I'll tag her when I share this. But you know, but yeah, that's the kind of the basis of it, is understanding what they want to achieve, but sitting down and helping them get to the process of what they want, because a lot of the time they don't know what they want.
Yep.
So I'm kind of there to go, right, asking the basic questions, like, right, cool, what's the goal here? And also I'll say, like, a lot of the businesses, it's not necessarily about having like the thousands of followers, because say if you've got 100 followers and 100 of them convert and you're a service, yes, here we go.
It's loyalty at the end of the day. It's how to retain these customers or your followers as well, because social media is obviously a thing for businesses but also individuals as well. So would you look at maybe doing a content day with someone that was maybe wanting to become that kind of presence within the social media game? Would that be something that you would look to? Do you
mean like an influencer?
Oh yeah. Or? So these are the things that a lot of businesses are going down, the revenue with influencers, you know what I mean, advertising their products and things like that. But most of these ones that are doing it influencing wise, and hopefully nobody takes offence to it, they're all good looking people, right? But they probably have no Scooby on the first thing that takes to be doing. They may post a picture and it may get thousands and thousands of likes, but at the end of the day they're probably not people that will look to buy a service from you. So maybe companies are maybe looking at them going, well they've got a big large following, but did they really bring anything? Is there anything that people would, do you know what I mean, loyalty follower wise?
Like I think with influencers, like it's a bit of a hit and a miss. Personally, I'd say, like, I've worked with some before, and influencers that just put out JD Sports, teeth whitening, fake tan, hundreds of things a week. Hello Fresh, that's a big one, they all do that. All them, it's like, right, but are you actually using any of that? Like, that's not and I think people are buying into it now in the sense of, right, well, that's a paid ad. They're getting paid to use that. Yeah, okay, sometimes it might resonate with somebody. Like, no, actually, I do need HelloFresh. Right, there's a discount code. Brilliant. But a lot of the time, it's just a load of shite. Whereas the micro-influencers, they're where it's at because they're real people. So maybe the people that have got like 10,000 followers, maybe even less, and they're actually, or for example, a girl I know advertised, what was it she advertised? Not even advertised, she tagged it, she used this product, I can't remember what it was, and I was like, brilliant, I need that. But it was just like somebody just shared
just
it.
the power of that.
Yeah, it's the power of sharing. And like, so in terms of influencers, unless you're like got hundreds of money to burn for a big huge brand, I don't think it's worth it, to be honest, because
no, I completely agree.
You don't have the guaranteed return on investment whatsoever.
Would you give any advice for somebody that was maybe in the influencer game and they get offered a product to sponsor? Because I see, like you just said there, a lot of the influencers are advertising teeth whitening, fake tan, all that kind of stuff. However, some of the products might not be right for that person and that business. Yeah. So yes, somebody might market themselves as a business as such. Would you give any advice for them to check over maybe their sponsorships before they start advertising something that maybe doesn't suit them?
I mean, absolutely, but I think that comes down to that individual. Like, they need to know what suits their brand, because, you know, I worked with a brand before, and it was sending product out, and there's no point in sending the product to somebody that's not going to, doesn't fit that theme. And then also for that influencer, the post they have to put out got to fit their brand. It can't be completely random to what their usual feed or their usual aesthetic is, because it doesn't make any sense. And it's like, well, clearly that's just, like, I remember ages ago when influencers just started becoming things. Remember Scott Disick from the Kardashians?
Yes.
And he literally was like promoting a car or something, and he copied and pasted the copy that the business had provided.
No.
It said, and that was provided. I was like, oh my God, that's how I do, man.
And that is somebody with a full-time manager, I guarantee you. And
like, he's not even posts.
I don't even know what you call it. It's probably Kris Jenner, to be fair. That's probably
she's getting up on all day grandwins.
Too many now. So obviously you've kind of covered that you're doing this content day, which is absolutely fantastic, and I believe that anybody that wants to try this out and has no idea what it actually entails with content and social media, as we say, it's not just about putting a picture up. If I'm being honest, pictures don't really do well. I've seen it myself. It's all about the visual, 100%, especially nowadays. If you're trying to sell a product, it's all about the visual. Do you have any tips or hints for socials, just because we're speaking about it at the minute, and just anything, like, what would be the top platforms at the moment that you would say are thriving? Because obviously we've just been introduced to a new app, Threads by Meta. Now, I've not read the full detail behind it. I understand that it's an Instagram.
It's basically like Twitter, but Instagram.
But Instagram, basically, which doesn't mean... I don't know if it was just done out of spite to Elon Musk.
Just trying to take on them all. I'm like, yeah, yes, man, there's too many. Like, I don't know if that's going to like thrive, to be honest. Like, because
I've got it and I haven't posted a single thing on it.
Like, platforms come and go all the time. Like, there was another few last year that came out and then they just disappeared again. So I'm like, is this going to... I don't know. It might not. I've not really invested much time in it because... There's too much else going on, and like a lot of with it's essentially Twitter. Threads is basically Twitter.
It's a competition. Yeah.
So with that platform, a lot of the time it's not really relevant to like small businesses because it's quick, fast-paced information. Yep. It's not like with Instagram, you can go back. I suppose you can go back and look on some days, but you're not likely to do that. But
there's no longevity
visual,
with it,
images, like you can go in and click and look and stuff. It's like quick, fast paced. And I think Twitter, which is essentially the equivalent, it was something like, I'll need to check back and see what it was, but it was like 13 minutes or something like that is the longevity of it, whereas a Pinterest was like a year.
Is that say you see a tweet or something and then that's it? It's pretty much gone instantly.
Gone instantly. So, and then it went up in levels, and like I think Pinterest was the one that was your longevity for that. So like LinkedIn was, but in terms of like the best ones now, it depends on your business.
The type of person, the business. Yep.
Depends on who you are as an individual. Depends on your business. Depends what you're promoting. Every business is different. Like, I can't get that across enough. Like, it's not just Instagram, Facebook, because everybody's different. But I'd say LinkedIn, Wild West. Do what you like. You're guaranteed attention over on LinkedIn.
Yep.
Whereas Facebook and Instagram is so much harder. because it's so much more saturated.
There's no really room for growth on these Instagram and Facebook.
Facebook is tough. Facebook is tough to grow because I think there's so many rules coming out as well with both of them. Like, you can't. So like, one of my clients, I posted something and it was like, this is going to get done for nudity, and I'm like, it's nobody's nude. Have you
experienced this? And I'll let you obviously continue on, but have you experienced it where now I run an entertainment business and I seem to post a lot of maybe clips and things of being at a performance, a gig, whatever it may be, and then somehow it gets copyrighted from someone in a different country that's like 10,000 miles away, and I'm like, that's my content. I know. That's mine. Like, have you come across that recently? Or?
No, but I've seen that on people's vlogs. Like, you can't vlog like somewhere where's playing a song because it will be copyrighted.
Copyright, massive at the minute.
And it's like, give me a rest, like, Jesus. But that's, so I would say LinkedIn, Wild West. Facebook's difficult, but Facebook's good for like groups.
Yeah.
But what gets on my goat really badly is,
I like that. I should just be a wee section. What gets on my goat?
It should be introduced as what gets on your goat. This gets on my goat. Seriously, the people that own the group, oh my God, when they start making all these rules, you can't post about your business on a Monday, and I'm like, are you kidding? Blocked. I'm like, are you joking?
New product Monday. You can only sell it on this day between these hours.
And I'm like, get a rest. Go to your work. Like, you don't get anything better to do. Like, than decline people.
These moderators and things. It's mental.
I'm like, right, you're already. And then Instagram's still like top tier fave. Love Instagram, and TikTok is where it's at. But the only thing with TikTok and small businesses is it's fully video content.
Yeah.
And video content is difficult to continuously maintain when you're doing your actual job. Like, if you're a florist and you're making flowers all day, you've no time to be doing 7 videos, one a day for a week. Like, you don't.
There's a lot of editing behind that as well.
And yeah, that's it. There's a lot of editing behind it. But TikTok's a bit, there's no real clear path to TikTok. Like, something can just blow up and be fantastic.
100%.
And then something you think is brilliant just won't, and you're like, right, what's the situation here? Where are we going? So that's also a bit Wild West. And Pinterest, like, people don't talk about Pinterest.
Do you know, it's not a platform that I use. Yeah. I have, do you know, sometimes you type up into Google and you'll type in like an image that you're looking for, and sometimes it comes up, the first thing you click on is the image that you're looking for, but it's from Pinterest. And I'm like, what is Pinterest?
It can be used for so many like companies.
But what is it?
It's like a photo sharing app, but it's also more inspirational. So like, but it's also really good on the algorithm. Like, it comes up on Google more than Facebook or any of them would. But it's for inspirational people to like search for things. But you can link blogs to it, to your website. Like, there's just, it's not really clear what it is. It's a bit all over the shop, but the reach on it and like the potential on it is massive. I remember one of my jobs and the monthly reach was like 10 million or something, and I was like,
that's mental.
How? And it was just
pictures. It shows you it can be done though. It can be done.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of these apps like Facebook, Instagram, they do stop you from getting that potential reach. Yeah. There's just something going on
because
within
they
the
want you to pay.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
When you get that blue tick.
Aye, the blue tick.
Which is a total other thing. Please do not fall into that category of paying for a blue tick. You will get your blue tick when you deserve your blue tick.
So you've bought them, I'm like, oh, go away, you're so embarrassing.
But do you know, I laugh because I don't use Instagram a lot as such. I don't know if that's just down to me as a person, just not. I remember Instagram at one point was the place where you put all your food pictures and things. Now it's about who's the prettiest, this sort of thing, and getting the right poses. I mean, and fair play to them, by the way, because it is a hard graft when it comes to doing that. We were at Transmit, and I've never seen so many posers in all my life.
Really?
At a festival. But I'm like, I guarantee you, they'll go into their thing and they'll get thousands upon thousands. I'm like, I post a nice picture of me and my family and stuff, and I'm like, my 10 likes. I'm like, yes, I'm famous. I'm famous. I'm like, here comes the big bucks. But it doesn't work out like that, which is just crazy. So obviously we've just discussed there about the platforms and things, and I do agree with TikTok. It could just take that one video, you could just potentially blow up. You have to be very consistent, and I think that's down to social media as well, and being consistent with it. Do you sometimes have to explain that to, you know what I mean, customers or service users, whatever you want to call them?
Yeah, I do. Consistency is absolutely key. But what you're kind of seeing, like on TikTok, for example, and then just to dip in quickly, so Instagram is very aesthetic and it's very like nice grids and it's very brand. See TikTok, wow, do you like?
Anyone's game.
Anyone's game. You can have words on stuff. You can have anything. Nobody cares. You can have talking ones. You can have you just doing anything you like. It's crazy. Whereas you'll never see that on Instagram.
No.
Like it is.
You come across some reels on Instagram, which is sort of when people just take their TikTok video and pop it on there. But I would very much say that, like that is just saying the voiceovers and things. TikTok, 100%.
100% all the way. And TikTok just now, it's like over a minute long videos perform better, whereas like 10-second ones do well on Instagram. Like it's just bizarre.
So when people come and make their own content, whether it be for Instagram, TikToks, Facebook, anything, do they require certain kit or gear that you maybe would recommend? Oh no, obviously we were saying people are different. And you would recommend?
Well, I wouldn't like go all out and buy hundreds of stuff, because see your iPhone, the camera and that is like top tier, like it's top quality. You don't need to get a big fancy camera and get memory cards and all this push. Your iPhone is brilliant at getting really good content. I'd suggest getting like a wee light, so you can get like wee handheld lights. You can get them like on Amazon, TikTok Shop. You get bigger lights, you get ring lights. Lighting's obviously key when it comes to creating content. You don't want something pure dark because nobody's going to watch.
It's just not appealing.
It's not appealing. It's got to be sexy when it's not. So good lighting's key. Get yourself a wee tripod. But it depends on, like I said, the business depends on what you're getting the content for, like what this kind of setup it is in the premise or whatever the product is, whatever the service is. Depends on the kit that you need, but you don't need to go pure crazy and buy hundreds of stuff, especially if you're a small business. You just need the basics.
No, and that's it. And I think your phone, very reliable, 100%. You know what you're doing with your phone as well. Yeah. Whereas you can get a camera, a nice big fancy camera, and it can be very, very off-putting. Very confusing, yes. And if you want to spend the time on that, 100%, definitely. Cameras for me are more for like YouTube and things like that. I think when you come to that kind of high end sort of stuff, whereas a quick fix video and
that's
things,
it. Like your
TikTok,
lifestyle
reels,
content, right on your phone, then you can jump into your apps and edit it. So like, there's loads of different apps out there as well. So I'll use like Canva, key, brilliant. So that one's for like your sort of graphic style things, adding words and bits and bobs together, like easy peasy. Everybody should be on Canva, brilliant. And I use Lightroom for like editing all your photos, and I use Video Lake for editing videos, but there's loads of other ones out there that
it's like CapCut and things like that are free as well.
There's like templates on there, which is maybe great for like people that are starting up, so you can just like chuck out your wee videos into a wee template and it makes it for you. So,
especially with TikTok, because they are, I don't know if there's like a partnership. There's like a partnership thing there where you see it in everybody's TikTok videos in the wee bottom left hand corner, CapCut, and you're like, right, that's the one to use. And everybody I've seen who are like massive on TikTok, they use CapCut, 100%.
Absolutely.
But as you say, there are so many free apps, and I think you have to dig into them and explore them all. Because something that everybody uses might not suit you.
100%.
Like I've got CapCut, I'm not great at it. I love using like iMovie on my laptop, or I love using like DaVinci, but it's because I do more bigger videos, like this kind of sort of stuff. So I've got to be able to use all that kind of thing. But there's 100%. Nothing better than just going on TikTok, doing a quick video and just editing that, because it's very simple to do so, and it can do it all for you, especially if you're just doing like a sound sync, so you're just syncing it to a certain song, and you don't need to worry about copyright as well, especially on TikTok, which I love TikTok for. Thank you very much, TikTok. Please don't ever change the way you are. Stay as you are, please.
Don't get bought over by Mark Zuckerberg. Nobody needs that.
No, because at one point everybody didn't like him, and somehow he's came back into the frame now and he's like a god again. No idea. So someone creating their content, whether they've been with yourself or they've taken tips on yourself or they're doing it all by themselves, how would they check to see if their social media is doing any good? How would they know if they're improving? How would they know their like analytics and things as such? That's the main word for it. How would they find that out?
So like every platform has their own form of analytics. So you can go in and you can like monitor it from like 1st of May to 1st of May, 1st of June to 30th of June, like, and you can compare and you can see, right, well, it's went up, and it will say, and on each individual post as well, you can look at the analytics of that and say, well, that one's done better. And I would always suggest, but if you had time, monitoring your analytics, because you say, right, I've been doing this kind of post, it's not working. This kind of post is working, right? So we can do that. And another tip that I would give small businesses that I've actually put on my Instagram is, you probably have a shit ton of content on your phone. You probably loads.
That you just don't know about.
So you're sitting at the end of the day like, oh God, I don't know what to post. I've not got any new content. Like, you've got hundreds, or you can repurpose something that's done really well, something that's done, it's got so much reach on Reels on Instagram. Repurpose it, change the song, change the message, use the same content if you're stuck, because it's so time consuming, and like, I get it, like, it's not your main job. So like, having these wee sort of methods of like reusing it, having a look at what you've got, like going back and being like, throw back to when I did this cake for this wedding, when I make cakes, whatever it is. You don't have to have something right that minute, because, and I put that up, and a girl messaged me, and she's got like a clothing business, and she was like, oh my God, you're so right, like, this is me. And
no, I completely agree with you. I did the exact same. I actually seen your post, and it kind of, something inside me was like, right, do you know, I'm going to try it. So on TikTok, I had a certain video that I posted, me singing Harry Styles song. Go and check my TikTok out. So it was Harry Styles, and then fast forward a year or later or something, maybe even longer than that, went back, posted the exact same video, got more likes on it, more reach, and I watched the view account, and I was like, just shows you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
and nobody knows. No,
they don't, because they're not going to scroll all the way back. Look, like, you can repurpose things, and it's just a quick way, I suppose, of. And what another tip I'd say, and I've said this all the time to people that speak to me and go, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, right, find an afternoon, Friday afternoon from 1 till 5, sit down, write down a week's worth of content, be like, right, look through your phone, be like, right, edit this, edit that, that's my wee video for then, what kind of else I need to do, plan it out for your full next week, and you don't need to think about it, and you can schedule it, you don't need to think about it, because a lot of the time people go, don't I post today? I don't know, oh no, it's 9 o'clock, I've not posted anything. But if you spend the couple hours a week just doing it bang, 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 all at one time, put it out, schedule it all, and then you can actually do your real job, because your real job is not social media. That's my job. Your real job isn't, like, your real job's to make the cakes, to make the floral arrangements, to run the business, to whatever it is your actual job is, like, that's what you're doing. This is an additional job that comes part of running a business, which is overwhelming to say the least. So,
massively, 100%.
Taking that little bit of time, if you can find it, would benefit you in the long run.
It's like blocking off a day as such, or an afternoon. Yeah. Blocking it off, looking at your diary, because there's a lot of scheduling apps and things like that you can use. I know one particular Hootsuite and things like that. I understand it's paid. You have to pay for it, especially if you want certain services and things like that. I don't know of any free ones. I know that each comes, like, especially with Meta and the business suite, you can obviously go in. Free. That's free. I think you can do Facebook. Can you do Instagram and that as well? You might know better than me.
You can do Instagram on it. It's not pretty though. That's the thing. Like, see on your actual Instagram account, you can manually through Instagram do your reels. You can have your front cover set, you can have your songs set, and you can schedule a time, and that's done. If you do that on Facebook, you can't get your front cover, you can't get the songs that you want from Instagram because the copyright's different. Even though it's the same company that runs both. So you need to do it separate. So you can't. If you did it on Facebook, you wouldn't get the song you want. You wouldn't get the front cover. You wouldn't get the way you want it to be. Yeah. So bit annoying, but you can, and you can't share it to Facebook when you schedule it on Instagram. It's so annoying. And it's weird because if you tag a business, which I found as well on Facebook especially, and then you schedule it, it takes away the tag of the business. And I'm like, so you be as well as not scheduling on Facebook because they're just basically taking away everything that you're doing to make your life easier. It's so annoying. I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense. Mark Zuckerberg, get your ass in gear. I know, like, get more stuff. Like, come on. I feel like they've totally dumped Facebook. They've totally that is like in the bin. Aye, like we are working on Instagram now. We're working on Threads now. It seems, which I personally don't see taking off. I know that everybody's just doing it to wind up Elon Musk because there seems to be this thing going around at the minute with socials, but I personally don't see any need for it. I think if you want to be on Twitter, then you go on Twitter. I'm not personally on Twitter. I don't like Twitter. I don't actually know. So Threads, I wonder if it's censored because Twitter, wow,
it's a playground for bullies, I always say.
Also, like, I was at Hen Do weekend and somebody was showing me this video and it was like heavy inappropriate, right? And I was like, why, how is that on Twitter? Like, I don't understand, because it's not censored. That's
right.
But I'm assuming Threads probably is, because it's part of Meta.
It's got to be. Mark Zuckerberg's all about all that kind of stuff. Like, I'll give them that.
That's
like,
a key difference as well.
You just don't know what goes through the brains of these billionaires, entrepreneurs.
Are they entrepreneurs? They're just weirdos.
They're a different breed of people.
Definitely, they don't understand the general population.
Nah, and they don't understand the real life world, even though that they were a real life person once, or like a citizen.
Real life person.
Sorry, that's a wrong word. Maybe a normal person once, like an average Joe.
Yeah. Now they're going to the moon and that. Who knows? Like,
and putting the logo on it as well.
Put the logo on the moon. Glorious. Good for them.
Who knows what they'll do next? So, sessions for social media. Is it something that you offer out to clients, like, and by that I mean like training days as such, or would that be something that you maybe would consider someone to do, whether it be through yourself or even someone else? Obviously, we want everybody to go to Paton Media. That's the whole point of this to showcase your business. So training days, I feel like a lot of companies could benefit from it, and I'm wondering if it's something that you've either done in the past, you either recommend, or if you think the one-to-one sessions are probably better.
I don't do training days, and it might be something I'll do in the future, but it's not really like in my forefront of my mind at the minute. It's definitely something that businesses would benefit from, and I know other people do it. It's just not. I'm just not a teacher. I'm a doer. It's just not who I am. Maybe I would down the line, but I just feel like there's a lot on my plate at the minute. Mm-hmm. Adding more, I'll just probably drown. So I'm like, maybe not right now.
That's it. Don't want to put yourself under 100%.
No, because I feel like I'm really creative and I'm really ambitious and I'm really independent and I want to have my own business. I do have my own business and I want to be successful, but I'm not here to chase the big, huge business where I'm going to have hundreds of staff under me. I can't be arsed. I want to live my life.
That's a whole different ballgame.
It's a whole different ballgame. Like, I want to live my life. I want to work, play, make my money, spend it, spend time with my family, go on nice holidays. I don't want to be working to the bone until I die. Like, it's just not who I am.
And I think as well comes with responsibility of other people as well.
I have staff and like
trusting them to run your operations day to day as well.
It's
like
difficult. Like, I'd say sometimes I'm quite trusting, sometimes I'm like, I like them my way, so I'm like, but no, I don't do training days now, but there is lots of people that do it. And I could probably recommend some if they ask me, but yeah, not right now.
No, listen, that's. I think you gave a brilliant and reasonable answer. 100%. You don't want to overdo yourself. You're very content with what you're doing at the moment. I think you're thriving. I love seeing your socials and things. I think it looks brilliant. I love seeing the feedback you get. But listen, even just the feedback that I can see that you're getting as well with it, and the companies and businesses that you're working for, you're not only looking like you're doing well, but you're also helping another business grow, which is all what this is about. This whole podcast is about, is helping these businesses grow. So I would highly recommend for your social media marketing tips to 100% get in touch with Paton Media. And if you fancy getting, is that a tan? Is that what the bro thing is? Is that what it is? If you fancy getting a tan as well. Mobile spray tans. There you go. So what was it called, bro?
Bro by Gem.
Bro by Gem. There you go. So anybody that fancies a wee tan, definitely get in touch with Gemma. Follow you. So, well, that's
Instagram, My bro Instagram is actually full of banter. It's actually really funny. Like, a lot of the stuff I do is really good. Whereas Paton Media is a bit more serious. But yeah, follow it.
But it's good to have that two sides in it.
I know.
You know
I try to amalgamate both of my wee bit, because like, I'm not going to be pure serious, because like, I'm who I am. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm having a great time.
I think as well, you've got to have that personality when it comes to doing social media and things. Like, I couldn't take advice from anybody that was dead, like, straight faced and to the bone. Like, they were just very I want things to be fun. And I think you're a very fun person, and I think you come across as nice and fun, which I think is the key to running this type of business.
And it has to be. Like, I was actually at a client a couple of weeks ago, and it was two guys, and they're starting a business, and we were doing like talking to camera pieces, and I was like, I've met them one time before, and I was like, right, let's go, and because they were pure nervous to speak, and I was like, you can do it, come on. They were like, okay.
Try to motivate them.
Yeah, and it was pure great, and they were loving it, and the stuff was really good, and I was like, here we go. And you just got to like that. As much as your energy's drained half the time, you're like, right, keep it up, you can do it.
I think that's it, and it's you're inspiring people to do something different that they I mean, people have been having run businesses long before I was born, long before yourself was born. And this all now is becoming such a big thing, social media as well with companies, because companies and things could just post something, they guaranteed they were getting business.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's about the little ones that are going, well, how do I compete with the Nikes? How do I compete with the big restaurants? How do I compete with all these sort of stuff?
Difficult.
And social media and getting out there to the World Wide Web is massive.
Absolutely. What I will say is, though, it's not your silver bullet.
Yeah.
So don't just assume, oh, I'll just do a post, I'm going to go viral, I'm going to sell £1 million worth of stock. Like,
oh no,
categorically
one post will not
like,
get you there.
Categorically will not. Like, you're building your, I like to describe it as your social media, especially Instagram, is like a book. You're just adding to the book. You're adding your service, you're adding your products, you're adding what you do, you're adding the proof of why you're good, like we said earlier, USP, why somebody would go to you.
So when just before you kind of continue, what is a USP for the listeners?
Your unique selling point. So what makes you different?
There you go.
Unique selling point. So,
even I didn't know that. I'm just like a USP.
Do you know what?
USB
when people talk jargon and I'm pure doing it myself, it's disgusting. Like unique selling point. And oh no, I've lost train of thought. A unique selling point. I don't know. Sorry, it's gone.
Sorry, that was my fault. You were talking about how we were talking regarding. I'm trying to think because this is what happens, and then about 2 seconds later it jumps back in my head.
It's fine. But anyway, move on from that. But so what I was wanting to talk about, like, mainly was the fact that I do the content days. So for anybody that's like looking for a content day, should we rewind it?
No, you keep going. You keep going.
For anybody that's looking to maybe so the content day kind of entails just a wee bit more detail on it, that I'll come to the client, we go over like what it is you're wanting to like get from that in terms of content, videos, photos, write all the copy for you, edit everything for you, and then provide that bank to you, and then you can do as you please with it, whether you put it out and straight away, or whether you save it up, whether you mix your own content in, whatever it is, because a lot of the time people just don't have the time to sit and do it. So it's basically taking that away from you, and then you're like, brilliant, I've got that content and I can just use it as I please. So that's kind of where that is, and it's like sort of one-off. So like that one-off time I come to you and you get the stuff within a week, all edited, ready to go, and that's that. And then you can come, like a lot of people phone me up and go, so when can you come again next? And I'm like, okay, cool. So you're happy then? Great. I love that.
Do you tend to find yourself then running social media for these companies?
But I can only do so many. So basically, I don't have access to the Content Days channel, like their channels. Yep. They get the stuff and they post it themselves. I don't run them for them.
Because they're just looking for you to create.
Yeah, so that's the kind of difference in sort of managing the socials, which is like full on me in with the messages, me doing all the posts, doing all the engagement, all of that, to just providing the content. It's purely content. It's not all the other stuff that goes along with it. Because like I said, a lot of businesses, maybe they can't afford to have somebody running their social media because that's a fact. Like, you're a small business, like you don't have hundreds of money to burn, so you can't afford somebody to do that for you, but you can maybe afford a content day where you're like, brilliant, here's this, then I've got all that and I can deal with it, and I repurpose it, like I said 100%. Earlier, and that's done for you, instead of you sitting going, oh my god, how do I edit a video, what am I doing, like I can't do this, like, because that's not what your job is. So yeah.
No, I think that's interesting. I think, as you say, no business is the same. Mm-hmm. You come across so many walks of life, some that are big, some that are small. So yeah, it's really interesting to hear how you go about doing kind of content and things, and why it's so important, and the certain things that people can maybe do. As I say, if you're looking for information on it regarding your business, whether, as I say, you are a business, you're an individual looking to grow your maybe your presence within the social media game, 100% get in touch with Paton Media. And on that, how do we get in touch with you?
So you can, I can't leave business cards to listen to this podcast. That's hilarious. Follow me on Instagram. It's at Paton Media. And then there's a wee link tree in my link, so you can go in to see all my other platforms, but that's probably the easiest one to go to. I'm actually just about to launch my website.
Oh, fantastic.
2 years in the making. So hopefully that's live, so you'll have a bit more information on the services and things like that. And I also haven't touched on this, but I also have my own podcast, which is recorded in here, like Curtis said, called Hype Club. And that is all for small business owners, charities, and those that want to shine the spotlight on something or someone. And you can listen to that through my Instagram as well. On there.
There you go.
Paton Media.
So there is all the avenues in which you can find Gemma
Please
at Paton
follow
Media.
me.
Yes,
Let's
and
be
please
friends.
make sure to listen to the podcast
Yes.
as well, because you can leave reviews.
Yes.
Nice 5 stars would do wonders as well. That'll
Yes.
push the podcast
Please
out.
do.
Are you looking for guests for your podcast?
I am. I'm always looking for guests. I've got 2 people lined up, which I haven't booked in yet, but I'll be doing that today. And I've got a couple other people that have inquired. So if you want to come on my podcast, let me know.
There you go. So there you go. That is how you get in touch with Paton Media. Thank you so much, Gemma, for coming along today.
Thanks for having me.
Apologies about some of the things that have went on that you people watching behind the screen haven't seen. It's been a fantastic laugh. You've been such a great guest, and it's lovely to have you on the other side this time, rather than having to be stressing about being the host. You could sit back. You've been nothing but a pleasure, the full podcast. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Folks, if you fancy it, then please feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You certainly can do. It is free. Also leave a like on the video. It's, again, totally free to do so. No money involved. Like it pushes it out, and it means that businesses like Gemma and all the others are pushed out there for the world to see, especially within the Renfrewshire community. We are also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and anywhere else that you get your podcast from. So please leave a review, 5 stars. That's what we're looking for. Again, it'll help push us out. But catch us in the next one. Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.